Okay, I think we quickly start. Very good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Yeah, thank you. So, my vocal cord is a little small, so I just want to confirm before. So, very good evening once again. So, this is the last session, I think, for today. So, my name is Ajith Narayanan, and I'm here to speak on how we want to level our playground with VMware. That's the hot topic right now. Everybody wants to find out an alternative for VMware. But there are some reality checks to be done before we approach somebody with this story of migrating from VMware to OpenStack. Definitely OpenStack has been for long now and it's very matured and everybody likes it, and that's the most closest to the VMware solution as we can see for today. But then again, there are a few challenges which I'm going to speak about and how we can solve those challenges. So little about me. My name is Ajith Narayanan. I'm founder of Pinnacle Computing, which is in Bangalore in India. And I've been quite a lot of time in Open Infra User Group as a speaker in various events now. A little bit of bragging about myself, that's irrelevant. And then yes, I'll just start with a quick question. How many of you think that vanilla OpenStack is really ready to take on the VMware as we speak? Because you know, wherever we go, people are looking for VMware because they're just pissed off with VMware, right? Simply. But where to go? But the nearest possible solution is OpenStack for sure. And when we approach with this OpenStack story, there is a kind of hesitance to move or take the next step, especially when it comes to, thank you. When it is about enterprise, right? So how many of you think that this is a common problem which we face when we talk to people? No, they don't fully. We as OpenStack people are like 100% confident, but then when you speak to them, they don't reciprocate with that kind of confidence because they've been using VMware for so long, right? So for people who are very comfortable using VMware, convincing them is very difficult. So yes, there is a lot of reluctance in the enterprise world. I'm speaking about the enterprise world because small companies, SMBs are okay. They are ready to take risk. Their risk appetite is pretty much good compared to large enterprises. They don't want to, because they are into bigger businesses, so they don't want to take risk. Maybe that is the reason. So the answer is broadly, if you're speaking, enterprises are not comfortable adopting OpenStack readily. Now, what are they looking for? So the problems, thank you. The problems which I will not call it as problems. It's a kind of gap which is available between OpenStack and VMware. Now VMware has a leading edge because you know they've been there for 2 decades, right? They've been having a monopoly in virtualization and lately on the cloud products and everything. So if you look at their ecosystem, they have built such a large ecosystem. You can see there are thousands of VMware engineers coming out, certified engineers coming out. They have a large partner ecosystem. So an enterprise would be looking at that. No? How will I get easily engineers? VMware engineers are readily available. But if you look for OpenStack engineers, you may get it, but it is very difficult to find. But VMware, they have an edge. So talent scarcity is definitely there in the open source world. OpenStack world. So how do we solve the solution? So our solution is called Pinnacle ZTI, which has solved that anybody can deploy. Anybody who can install Ubuntu or CentOS or say any operating system can deploy it. So that is the gap which we wanted to fill as a solution. Now otherwise enterprises immediately think of VMware. Okay, that's so easy to deploy. We have so many engineers and available in the market. It's easy to maintain everything. But when it comes to OpenStack, it's very difficult. So they have that apprehension when it comes to adopting OpenStack. So if we fill that gap. Yes, any engineer who can install an Ubuntu operating system, if he is able to deploy a large-scale OpenStack, yes, that's the gap fill. The second one, maturity and stability. They've been for 2 decades, right? But in OpenStack, we still have a steep learning curve. Even if you manage to find out and build a team of engineers, OpenStack engineers, fresh, maybe you get a mix of fresh and experienced, this learning curve is a bit steep. They take almost like 3 months to 6 months to learn. Otherwise, you should have a very experienced OpenStack guys who can build and operate a large scale OpenStack. And if that is also made easy, like everything made easy as click next, everything in a single console, if everybody can manage. No need to SSH to your controllers, no need to SSH to your compute nodes, no logging into storage nodes, everything you can get it in a console. Yes, what else enterprise would be looking for? So that is another gap, huge gap. Yes, we are trying to fill it. And deployment tools, yes, we have beautiful deployment tools already, like OpenStack Ansible, Cola Ansible, and many other tools, many are there. So we use OpenStack Cola, which is quite stable comparatively. So again, Cola, doing with CLI is a little more challenging. If you have given it as a GUI, yes, click next, there's a wizard, you click next, yes, you get a multi-node OpenStack deployment, yes, beautiful, everybody will like it. Okay, so that is some big gap. So anybody with zero touch provisioning, if he is able to do it and manage the whole cloud, multi-node cloud, that's a big win. And enterprise grade reliability, yes, OpenStack Vanilla, OpenStack definitely does not comes bug free. If we are able to fix these bugs and then package it and then have a stable release, like how Red Hat does it, right? Red Hat actually does the same thing. So they take the vanilla code and then fix the bugs and everything and make it enterprise ready, whatever features is required, everything, and then they just ask the enterprises to subscribe for the support. Exactly. So these are the huge gaps which we can actually see. If we are able to convince them that these gaps are filled, definitely our conversation would be much easier when it comes to talking to a enterprise which was using VMware for a long time. They'll be easily convinced to move out to OpenStack. So this is based on our experience. What are the major gaps which we have compared to VMware? Now, how do we do this? How do we do this? So OpenStack, as you know, you have public repository. Yes, you can definitely go ahead and use the public repo and use the deployment tools available. And what if I give you an ISO file? So ISO file, that's what I was saying. Anybody who can install Ubuntu can install this. So we call it as Pinaka ZTI. ZTI is for zero touch integration. So it's a 10 GB ISO file. Anybody can download it, create a bootable pen drive, and he can create multi-node, powerful 10,000, 100,000 core petabyte scale private cloud form, only with a 10 GB pen drive, USB drive. So that's making it lightweight and powerful and easy to distribute. So that's one thing which you have your whole cloud in your pocket with, as you know, USB drive. What else do you want? And then validated and secured. As we said, when we package, definitely the major chunk of the work is to fix these bugs which here. Different services are there. All services may not work at the first attempt. Yes, we need to identify what are the different bugs in the code. Probably say we are using 20 Antelope as the release. So we had many bugs fixed in Manila services, Swift, Nova. Most of the services we had small glitches, everything fixed, and it's validated. The one time created, yes, any number of times you can use. Same code, it's not going to break. So that's the validated and secured. Secured when you say yes, we have to implement the security standards, recommendations, whatever is there. That is also implemented. Now coming to people who are talking to defense and government organizations who are having an air-gapped environments, yes, still that works. Same USB pen drive works because there is no reliance to internet. There is no need to have an internet connection. Still, you can have a multi-node, highly scalable private cloud infrastructure created. And later, I am going to show you a slide where we have done it for a very secretive agency, government agency, with the same USB drive which I am talking about. And 100% offline activation. Since we are giving it to an air-gapped environment, definitely activation also should be done. Services activation also should be done in an offline manner. So that is also there. And last is the biggest pain point where VMware is suffocating enterprises. Everybody knows. We call it VMware tax. Now they just started going 12x in the prices, and that's one of the main reasons people want to look for a VMware alternative. So here also we have a socket-based subscription, support subscription, so which has made it very easy. You run any number of cores, 5th generation servers with 128 cores, doesn't make any difference. You have two sockets, that's it. So it's quite simple. So this is our production footprint. If you look at for the production footprint, this is for a cloud service provider in India. So they wanted to come out of VMware and then adopt our solution, and we have successfully migrated almost to 200 plus VMs, and each VMs you can see it's huge, abnormally huge, because the government agencies, they use large VMs unlike smaller VMs. And we have a pretty much good footprint here, and by next quarter or so, I think we'll be hitting almost like 16,000 cores. I'm talking about logical cores, 16,000 cores, and likewise our storage footprint also might increase. And this is another example of the air-gapped environment. As I said, we did have an opportunity to work with a very secretive agency within the government. So they were like literally cut off with the internet. They don't have internet, but they want the virtualizations in the cloud, software-defined storage, everything for them. And our solution was best fit for them because our solution never relied on the internet, just the USB pen drive. And they did not even take USB pen drive, so we had to write the same image in DVD writer. You know the reason why. They don't use USB also. So that's the kind of. So total, if you look at these are two success stories we had lately. So if we are able to make it easier to adopt with operate a large scale cloud with very less number of resources, nothing like that. Enterprises are scared about having the complexity of OpenStack because it's so many running parts at the same time. So that's one worrisome thing for enterprises to adopt, and they have this apprehension to take the next step. So yeah, so the total production footprint, if it was on AWS or any other hyperscaler, it's a whopping amount of like 4.5 million per year kind of infrastructure which is there. So you can imagine the business or the companies which adopted this solution are saving on a yearly basis. This is a rough calculation where we just try to calculate based on what infrastructure we created for them. And we just try to parallelly make out how much of AWS or Azure would have cost for them. Definitely it's not an option for them, but then just to equate what kind of infrastructure was created with this solution. So I'll just quickly show this demo of this solution, which is called Pinnacle API. If you look at this is the solution where you can see there is a dashboard which gives all the details about the cloud infrastructure, the services running, and this is the wizard which I was talking about, wherein it automatically discovers the nodes. We call it flight deck and squadron nodes, just fancy names. So that flight deck is this head node, which is a deployer node, and the squadron nodes are like EXSI, VMware. So we just want that VMware people to, they do apple to apple comparison. We have NSX, so what do you have? We have this, what do you have? Kind of that kind of comparison is always there. So we want to hack their mind, right? So that is the reason we also gave fancy names like squadron nodes. Squadron nodes are the compute nodes and controller nodes, which will be having our own installation, the basic installation. And then you need to add from the flight deck, you need to add 3 controllers, 10 compute nodes, 3 storage nodes, basically storage backend is built on Ceph. And then we have to discover those nodes and then validate it. We have some validation also, because if you select a storage role for a node, we have to know what is the minimum hardware available in this node. If it does not qualify, we cannot proceed with the inclusion of that node. So that kind of basic validations for adding it as a compute or a controller or a Ceph OSD. So based on their minimum hardware requirement, that validation runs and it gives a report, and if it fails, probably we cannot allow you to add that node. So you can have multiple, say you need to add 10 compute nodes or 20 compute nodes or 50 compute nodes in one go. Yes, you can add. You select all those things, and I'll show you how it is scanning the complete subnet which is there, and then you can select whichever nodes you want to add. And this is the validation part I was just talking. And this is already deployed setup. So finally it gives out the self-service dashboard URL, the storage management, that's the Ceph part, the monitoring infrastructure, and also the diagnosis dashboard, which is OpenSearch. So all those things and the credentials, all those things. And this is the complete inventory of all those nodes which are added. And we can have the service operations, everything. As I said, we don't want them to log in to the server, SSH to the server and do things, because they don't like it. If they get all the information from here, yes, you want to restart the service, raise a ticket, diagnostics ticket, it collects the diagnostic information, everything is available with this single console. Yeah, this is the self-service dashboard where all the provisioning happens. We can have all the services generally, infrastructure service, VM-based workloads for container-based workloads. You have VPN as a service, load balancer as a service, network file share, Manila service, and then object storage. Everything is available. This is the consolidated logging, that where all the nodes, across the nodes, all the logs are aggregated into single places, where it is easy to diagnose what is happening across the cluster. Anything happens, yes, we can go here, filter it, and we are planning to add these fancy AI agents and everything, whatever is required, right? So in upcoming releases, we planning to add all AI agents so that it acts as a like L1 or L2 OpenStack engineer who can diagnose things and let the business know that proactively what's happening within the cluster. Yeah, that's the quick demo. And when it comes to enterprise grade, definitely the point which I did touch base is the high availability features, right? Be it Masakari, host evacuation, instance evacuation, all features are included. So any host gets cut off from the network, automatically all the VMs get migrated to the surviving nodes, and instance monitor where a VM goes unreachable for whatever reason, it gets migrated migrated to a surviving node, all those kind of features. So, and when it comes to high availability at different layers, network layers, yes, in the wizard, probably that screen was not there in this demo, where you can have interface bonds, Linux bonds created, so that at any case there is no single point of failure. At every layer there is a redundancy created. So everything we can do it. And network segregation, be it your management network, your API tunnel network, your storage network, or your what is that? All this network segregation, everything is possible. So completely making it enterprise grade and making it like plug and play with the USB pen drive and easy to operate on. And with stability wise, obviously, as I said, we have packaged. Before packaging, definitely we will fix all the bugs and make sure everything works as smooth as possible. And then later things are carried out during the life cycle of complete this thing. So that's all I had. So any questions?
So yeah, I want to ask regarding upgrades. So the most common problem with OpenStack is upgrade. So that I want to ask first. Second means, I didn't understand the architecture. You showed means, the first one is your control panel, which will be acting like an orchestrator to deploy all the host, actually you can say.
Right.
So where is the controller involved? Means the three controllers which OpenStack requires?
We have divided it as a flight deck, and flight deck is like a single node from where you deploy your complete. It's like in other terms you can call it as a undercloud and the overcloud. Undercloud, you have this flight deck, everything is there in package, and once you select the nodes and give them the roles, okay, node 1 controller 1, node 2 controller 2, node 3 controller 3, then next 10 nodes compute nodes, then next 3 nodes set storage. You give it select and then you say deploy, automatically it will deploy everything.
Okay. So it's an orchestration kind of thing.
Right.
The second, the first question was regarding the upgrade. So how exactly means, the upgrade will be pushed and will it affect the services or something like that?
Yeah. See, when it comes to minor upgrades, it's quite easy. It's like replacing the container image. That's what we do. That's quite easy. When it comes to larger upgrade, that is something which we are still working on, because our first release is just out, which is quite stable now. And when it comes to upgrade, definitely it's a leapfrog. Anybody who has taken this, right? But our release is also not like 20 Antelope and then not Bobcat. So Antelope and then we plan only for Caracal or maybe Epoxy. Okay. So we will not even have anything in between.
So current release is what?
This is Antelope.
Bobcat.
Antelope.
Antelope.
2023 got one. Okay. So next what we are planning to pick up is either Epoxy, not Epoxy for sure. It should be Caracal.
Okay, got it.
Generally we take like N-2.
Okay.
That will be more safer.
Yeah, understood, because of the
right. Any other questions?
These are configured only for enterprise, not for
anybody.
provider will need multi-tenant.
Yeah, it is a multi-tenant environment. Obviously, OpenStack always is in
So even your upper layer orchestration is multi-tenant.
No. That's not
That's for deployment.
That's for only for deployment. That's a one-time deployment, not one time. You may scale later also.
I mean to say, when you're saying the cloud console or the instances are shown.
Yeah. That is multi-tenant.
You mean to say the user service portal, when user will be logging in.
Right.
So that is multi-tenant.
It is multi-tenant. You have multi-tenancy at the domain level, and then project level, and then user level. So it's like user to project. It's one-to-many relationship. So one user can have multi.
That was not shown.
No, that's just a product. So by default, it's multi-tenant.
Yeah, domain is referred as organization.
Right. So you can call it as a different business units also within an organization business unit. If it is as a cloud service provider, it would be entirely different companies using it. Thank you.
Thank you.